want me to be great today. Hardcore Spotify. They just want me to jam. Yeah, I ain't mad at them. Whatever. How we doing? Happy Saturday, chat. It's January 2nd, 2021. Mike unmuted, we in the building. How can we make some money tonight? The question last night, a little bit rough, but Mama said there was going to be nights like that. PJ Washington, why did you do me like that, bro? Oh, that was tough. It was tough. If you guys avoided one of the many landmines last night, congrats to you. There were several of them. Guys like D'Angelo Russell, P.J. Washington, a lot of lopsided games ruining some good spots and some good fantasy point games that were being cooked up. It was a tough night. Top scorers last night: Giannis Antetokounmpo, 65 fantasy points. LeBron, AD, Kawhi, all 60+, even Luka. And all these guys were just kind of floating around pre-flop ownership-wise because a lot of eyes were on D-Russ, were on Bradley Beal, the allure of some of those mid-balanced lineups. And then, sure enough, like all these studs rose to the top. I did like Paul George, more so on FanDuel. He was under 8K. And I thought, man, the Clippers have just been part of blowouts every single slate. And this was a 3-point spread, and I thought that, Paul George could float to the top. But my top guys didn't let me down. What let me down was I banked on some mid-tier. I really banked on some P.J. Washington, knowing he played backup minutes. In the first half, he had like 10, 11 fantasy points. It was about a point per minute. But it very much did not have a second half worth even talking about. Only played 23 minutes, 3 fouls. Not what you want. Up until then, besides the 5 foul, 17, 18 minute game against Dallas, PJ had been playing backup center minutes, but it just got away from him. LaMelo Ball with another 30+. Bismack Biyombo with a double-double, 16 and 12. Big game for him. So today, the Hornets play the Sixers, right? I'm just like, that's a spot where P.J. Washington would make no sense. But it'll be hashtag DFS for that to happen today. But shout out to the Grizzlies. I love the Colin Anderson, Dylan Brooks combo. J-Val was underwhelming, to say the least. Tyus Jones did all right. Brandon Clark was extremely high owned on FanDuel. Naz Reid also really high owned on FanDuel. Had like a 25 fantasy point first half and finished with just a few more extra points on top of that. It was kind of surprising, but that was big Friday night basketball, right? We expect it. Let's get caught up on chat. Then we'll bring Raj in here. Sorry about the late start. I had a couple of tech diffs with Streamlabs. What up, Tormented, Silly Rabbit, Omri Coates? What's your guys' favorite tournament play on FanDuel? I'm not sure yet. What up, Daniel Perez? Love Trae Young tonight. Highest usage player in the slate. I would assume that game draws a lot of attention just because of the total and who's in it. This is a wonky slate. There's several positives about this slate. 5 games, and they all tip off within 30 minutes, right? So if you're one of those, I hate late swap, I hate sweating news after lock, man, this whole slate is done in 30 minutes. Then you're chilling on a Saturday night. But a lot of these games are deep spreads. 9-point spread in Indy, 5.5 in Orlando, which is a low-scoring 217 total. A 10-point spread for Philly, 6-point spread for the Hawks, which I feel like is extremely light considering the matchup, and a 1-point spread for the Raptors and Pelicans. So short slate. Some of these games that aren't too lopsided spread-wise are slow in pace, low in total, and then the one that's 6-point for the Hawks. I kind of don't know, and I feel like that's gonna be the trendiest game on the slate regardless. So fun slate pre-flop, but it could go so many different ways. What up, Ryan? What up, James? Raw Neto chalk busted. I don't feel maybe on FanDuel you could say that. On DraftKings, I don't feel like if you played that high owned 3K player and he got you 20-ish, whatever, I don't think he busted. If you played him for that 40 fantasy point game or whatever that he did the last time against the Magic without Westbrook, then yeah, you didn't get that. But Neto's probably not a reason somebody would lose money last night. Playing Neto is the least. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you wanted more, but at his ownership, based on some of the more high-owned boats like D'Angelo Russell, Neto wasn't really the guy who got you. Graham and Rozier killed me. Man, this spin the wheel, make a deal carousel between Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, and Lonzo Ball. It's getting pretty hard to project pre-flop. But we've got a pair of slates now for LaMelo Ball getting there as a solid tournament play. What up, solid picks? James, Raphael, Naz Reid got in foul trouble. Yeah, it was tough. Asano, Neto outscoring Rubio. Thomas Bryant was underwhelming, but that game, right? And this season so far has been the story of the blowout. The Washington Wizards, they were winless. What, 0-5? Back-to-back, no Westbrook, and they smoked the Timberwolves. And they were up by 30 last I looked. So that game just got out of hand. So, like, yikes. What are you going to do, right? Mr. Hustle. What up, Sway? What up, Mike Lowry? What up, Hollywood? All right, let's get Raj into the mix, into the fold. Yo. Here.
Yo.
You got internet today?
Oh, we good today. It was fixed up yesterday. Just it kind of broke down in the whole condo. The whole condo took it out.
Dude, I would be so ticked. My internet dropped the other night. I think like either New Year's or whatever. And I pay for this gig internet, right? Like I don't play no games, okay?
Yeah.
I'm giving you this money for this gig internet. I'm probably not even using all of it. But dagnabbit, I'm paying for it. So whenever.
Yeah, see, this wasn't even like the internet's fault. This was like they were fixing an elevator, and then like I think they cut the power to something and different wire, and yeah, it was down for a while.
Yeah. Yo, what up, Tyrell? Tyrell, one of the new Vipers. Tyrell, you got to jump in voice, man. You got to jump in voice. I don't blame Brian.
What the action is.
Exactly. Here comes Raj with the Harrison Barnes core play of the day. We need it today. We need it today.
After yesterday's debacle.
This will definitely be a slate where we need something to be a little different, right? Anyway, 5-game slate today, Raj. Couple lopsided spreads. Last night I got smacked silly. It was like probably my first loss night of the season, like true loss, like other than we got the EKG machine, right? You lose a little bit, you win a little bit. Yesterday was Plummet City, and the main reason why it was Plummet City for me is because PJ Washington was only 5% owned, and I had like 45% of it.
That's a lot.
That's not what you want. And then, of course, D-Russ was 20-30%. He was a bum. But
yeah, the Memphis guys came through. Anderson, Brooks, like they did okay. Gordon Hayward just kind of fell off the map too.
Can we just say Kyle Anderson and Dylan Brooks were really low owned on FanDuel, and I was just like,
yeah, I was surprised even on DK. I think with some of the late news that broke, people are just higher on other plays.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Tyler Wright, Jeff B. All right, let's talk about some basketball here. Game number 1. New York Knicks at the Indiana Pacers. Project starting 5 for the Knicks. Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. Taking on Malcolm Brogdon, Aaron Holiday, Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, and Miles Turner. That's kind of a starting lineup I pulled from RotoWire. I guess there's still a chance that like Oladipo starts at the 2 and maybe Justin Holiday or something like that starts at 3. But we're just going to go with this for now. A 215 total, a 9-point spread in favor of the Pacers. Knicks have been playing deep minutes for their starters, the Tom Thibodeau way. Alec Burks could be back in the mix here, but they've been still really dry at the guard spot when it comes to putting minutes on guys like Elfrid Payton. Austin Rivers did make his debut. He's still likely to be capped, but if we get Alec Burks back in the mix, Kevin Knox back in the mix, I can feel a little less enthusiastic. about playing guys like Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, and RJ Barrett. But Julius Randle, AK on FanDuel, how do I not? How do I not? The minutes that Randle's playing right now and his usage. This guy's playing more point guard than Elfrid Payton. 37 minutes against Toronto, 37-44. Double-digit rebounds, flirts with a triple-double, had a triple-double 2 games ago. Missed the mark by 5 fantasy points. I would love 40 here. At 8K on the nose, I think it's easily my highest owned power forward on FanDuel. On DraftKings 9-1, right? There's a stronger debate and thought here. A 9-point spread could open up a argument that this game could blow out. But man, Randle's just in a spot here. On the Pacer side, TJ Warren is out with I think he had foot surgery is what I read. And that could shake up this Pacers squad just a little bit, create a couple more minutes for some guys, maybe some secret value here. Aaron Holiday is 37-38. Justin Holiday, a little bit more. The guy I'm probably more interested in is maybe Sabonis, but at 9,400, you really, really got to get him to get that 50 bomb.
You 1v1 him versus Randle on DK. You're going Sabonis all day. They're the same price, or essentially.
Is it all day?
Yeah, I'm doing Sabonis over Randle.
No
at
TJ 9-point spread, Sabonis is more likely to rest in a blowout than freaking Randle is, right?
Is he? Sabonis has been playing the blowouts, even when this team's blowing out teams. Sabonis' minutes are up there.
Yeah, they are. I would trust. I don't know, man. Randle is a piece, man. I love them both. I'll say that. I don't want to get this into a choose between the two debate. I do love them both. The price on Randle on DraftKings definitely a little stronger debate here. But anyway, looking at this short season, when it comes to fantasy points to opposing centers, the Knicks have allowed the second most fantasy points so far. Pacers are a little closer to league average. I'm not going to overweight DVP as it is, but especially not going to overweight a short sample size. But so far, the Knicks have not been that tough when it comes to opposing bigs for fantasy points allowed. They're allowing over 7 blocks a game right now. 7 blocks a game. There's a guy named Miles Turner that he likes to get blocks in his own right. He's averaging 4.2 blocks a game. 6,400 on DraftKings. Is he a guy that no one wants to play today? And maybe without TJ Warren, a couple more rebounds fall into his arms. Could we get that sneaky double-double out of Turner? He's giving you 30-plus fantasy points in almost every game. He missed it by a bucket against Chicago. A lot of it has to do with blocks and steals, and you want to think those are a little hard to predict, but, man, he's getting it done. Is Miles Turner obvious in plain sight play here?
He's in play, probably like him on FanDuel a little more just because he does get there on blocks and steals. But at 6,400, even on DK, he's giving you mid-30s almost every game. Just kind of gets there for you. When he gets that double-double, he should smash at his price. It will be today against the New York team that's, above average in rebounding with Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Not a level play.
Really
might depend.
Their offensive rebound is great, but their defensive rebounding is 74.7% so far. Obviously that could change, but you look at the Knicks front court last year from what they were allowing, it wasn't this bad. So I don't know if we expect positive regression eventually because the players are.
I would assume so.
They're not the same, but it's not that different. I guess Mitchell Robinson, Randle, Noel. I guess last year they had Taj Gibson and. Just a conglomerate of bigs. But right now it's Randle who, I don't know. Their rebounding is not what you might think it is. So
I think Miles Turner ownership will come down to maybe a Clint Capella if he's ruled out or not. Because Clint Capella's 5,500. So people probably paid out for him, but if he's not there, it's just the pay up guys and it come down to Turner. So I think that news will affect his ownership. But he's in play. I think it's fine. This is one of the favorite games on the slate. On New York. Give me some Randle. Price tag's tough, but it's there. So, RJ Barrett, 6,500. Playing a minute.
Another thing I'm going to point out there is the New York Knicks are allowing amongst the most points in the paint in the league right now, over 50 points in the paint. They're actually not giving up a lot of points for either 3-ball. Again, short sample size, whatever. But another case for Miles Turner without T.J. Warren, man. I don't.
I mean, get him in the pool. Don't hate it.
At 6'4", that's the thing. Like, I almost like him more in DK, but FanDuel, those blocks
Yeah.
and steals were certainly a weight higher, so he could be a 40 bomb. But anyway, you were saying R.J. Barrett.
RJ Barrett, I mean, past 2 games, he shot 26%, 21%, but he played 39, 37 minutes, took 15, 19 shots. Peripherals are there, 7 and 8 rebounds, couple of assists, steals. So, I mean, once that shot goes down again, 6,500, he's come down in price. He can get you a 40 bomb. So give me RJ Barrett, give me Randall. On Indiana side, give me Brogdon, Sabonis, Turner. Maybe some Oladipo. I mean, all these guys are just there. No TJ Warren. Good spot against the Knicks. I think Malcolm Brogdon 7,400 is not a name people want to click at that price, but upside's definitely there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that there's not much sexy about this game, but there at least is a stackability factor if you really start tapering your expectations on what this slate might be, considering some of these totals and spreads. Mitchell Robinson, 5'2" on FanDuel, 5'4" on DraftKings. I gotta bring him up just because I guess Rich in the Discord has been all over him today. That's an okay price if I can get 25 to 35.
It ain't it, Rich. This ain't it.
The foul. I would say fouls, but he had 4 fouls, 25 minutes against Toronto. Toronto game got lopsided. I'm not scared of the matchup, but
I mean, yeah, he's not getting a ton of shots. Indiana rebounds the ball relatively well. I'm not running to play Mitchell Robinson. In 20 lineups, if I have 9, I'm okay with it.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm leaning more Pacers here
You
with Randall
got
run
Vooch.
back.
Yeah, look at the opportunity cost for centers too. Vooch, Drummond, Sabonis, Embiid.
Alec Burks might play today. Still has a Q tag, but if he does play, remember before he was put on the sidelines, 31, 32 minutes, double-digit shot attempts, 20-ish real points, 18 to 22. I don't know that I'm super excited about this matchup at 5'4", but it certainly would. I feel like if Alec Burks was in, I know you mentioned R.J. Barrett, but I probably don't play R.J. Barrett if Alec Burks is in. Although these minutes are dumb.
Those minutes are still. I don't think Burks is going to take away anything from R.J. Barrett minutes.
Maybe not the minutes. I guess you're right. If he starts shooting better than 20%, 0 for 8 against the Raptors. The Pacers.
It's there. I think Burks probably hurts Alfred Payton more.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm so like, I don't need to play Alfred Payton like everyone else does. Everyone's dying to put. Why are we trying to make this work every slate? It's not fun. Anyway, chat. Let's get caught up. What you guys got on this one before we move on? Just quickly, guy get minutes at point. If he's in and Burks is in and Austin Rivers is in, I'd probably stay away from all of them. But the Barrett minutes I think will be there, and if he starts shooting a little bit better, it's kind of the Kelly Oubre argument. If you're gonna shoot 4 for 18, maybe one day you shoot for 8 for 18 and you turn into a good play. The matchup isn't inspiring, right? If he crosses up with Brogdon, Depot, anything like that, I'm not like I don't think it's a great matchup. But sometimes the volume and price point, especially on a smaller slate, will be worth taking a couple stabs at. To me, power forward isn't strong on FanDuel. I think Julius Randle, AK on FanDuel, is severely underpriced for what his minutes and usage is. I know the matchup also isn't favorable for him, but minutes and usage at AK, I'm buying. Especially since it seems like they're somewhat blowout proof. What's up, Crispy? Where is the leverage? I haven't really put my ear to the ground on ownership projections just yet. I'll try and get a better picture a little closer to lock, but I like to digest the slate first, right? Matchups and all that, and then I'll maybe start thinking about ownerships. Rozier 40 points minimum. Okay, buddy. Okay. All right. So McDermott.
Harden ruled out?
Did that just happen?
Yeah, but he's not in the slate on DK.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys are playing this early slate, James Harden is out. Did he get traded? Huh?
It's his ankle.
I don't know, man. He usually never sits out for injury.
That's very
Um,
true.
Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Oklahoma City Thunder at the Orlando Magic. Project starting five for the Thunder. SGA, George Hill, Lou Dort, Darius Baisley, Al Horford. Taking on Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier, Dwayne Bacon, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Vucevic. You got a 217 total. 5.5-point spread in favor of the Orlando Magic. Now, normally this is one of those games. I'm pretty sure that package is me. I hear a FedEx truck, and I got a whole bunch of stuff on the way. This is on the surface. It's one of those games like on a regular slate. Oh, it's a 217 total. It's the Magic and the Thunder, right? We're like, okay, whatever. Next, on this slate, I think you kind of have to really start digging into this one because we need plays. SGA still right at that 8K area on both sites. We're looking for that big game, but still, if you just knock on the door of like a 40 fantasy point game, it's worth it, I think, on this slate. 23 against New Orleans, lopsided game. What can you do? But 41 against this matchup, the Orlando Magic, 39-46. I'd almost just take that 40 to the bank here and hope that, we look at some of those 40-point games where he was just a bucket or two away from being a smash play. 9 for 21 against the Utah Jazz, right? A couple more shots made there. Maybe he's mid-40s. I think I just have to take stabs here. So I like SGA. I think the rest of the Thunder are a little bit tougher to love individually, but I'd probably have I probably set a rule no more than 2 Thunder maybe, but I would have darts of like a Lou Dort and a Baisley. Probably not going to get to Horford, but for sure SGA. And then on the Magic side, they're kind of stackable in their own right. I mean, Markelle Fultz can give you a puncher's chance at 30-plus fantasy points. Evan Fournier is questionable, right? If he doesn't play, that's going to open up a lot of opportunity and 15 shots. Aaron Gordon, 5,600, even on a minutes restriction at 5,600, he might be in the ballpark for 25-35. And then Nikola Vucevic, 8,400 on FanDuel, 87 on DK. Vucevic is just a borderline matchup-proof guy, and he does just enough to probably give you that 40-plus. Against OKC last game, 52.5 fantasy points. We've seen 250 bombs out of him this season. And a game against Philly, lopsided game, a couple days rest in between. Washington should have, he did crush it. Then the next Washington game was night 2 of a back-to-back, 28 minutes, and then Miami's a tougher matchup. So what are you going to do? I think Vooch is in an incredible spot. Probably has one of the highest ceilings on this slate. So I'm going to be playing him. I'll probably have a nice chunk of Fultz. And then depending on the Evan Fournier news, I might up or lower my interest in I think Terrence Ross might play, right? So if Terrence Ross plays with Fournier maybe out with a back injury, that's plenty of shots to make up. Ross is already a guy that might get 15 shot attempts. So you take out a Fournier, who's probably a 15-shot attempt guy. Maybe Ross takes 20 shot attempts. You might open up more minutes for like an MCW. MCW, not really a guy I look to for a lot of real scoring. But at 4,100, you give him 25, 30 minutes. He might peripheral his way to a decent day. Last time against OKC, 24 minutes, 18.5 fantasy points. And then if we wanted to make up some more shots, Cole Anthony, I think, is somebody that would probably replace some of those shots off the bench. 18 shot attempts against Philly for 27.25. So a couple of ways to go if this shakes out with like Fournier out and Ross in. So the names I'd write down in pencil: SGA, Fultz, Vucevic as my front end interest, and then everything else just kind of falls. Where are you at on this one?
I mean, give me all the Vooch. It's a great spot for him. Should dominate here. Gave him 50 last time. Kind of expect that again. I get the Terrence Ross love if Fournier is out.
So I think there's I'm only playing Terrence Ross if Fournier's out. There's a case that you could play T. Ross regardless.
I don't know. He's been good to me this year. He's definitely been good to me. I don't think he starts though, right? He was still coming off the bench. I like him off the bench. He has all the usage there.
I would keep him off the bench just to kind of stagger a little bit.
And start someone else. Yeah, maybe start Cole Anthony, set something on those lines, which would be a bump up for Vooch. So yeah, give me Ross. He's there. Markelle Fultz 6,200. He's definitely got your mid 30s. I'm waiting for that 40-point game still, to see that real upside. But at 6,200, he can get you mid 30s. I think it's fine to keep in the pool. In the OKC side, I'm just keep going back to SGA. Let us down last game, but again, this is his team. He's gonna have to score points, get rebounds, play make. Game stays close. He can have a big game. Hopefully, get you 50.
Yeah.
But other than that, am I playing anybody else on OKC? I mean, George Hill had his first down game. He's 4,800 now in DK. Not in love with the price, but he's been okay for the most part this year. Al Horford he got you 30 last game. He's 6K. He only played 24 minutes. It was a blowout. This game stays close against Vooch. Could he get you that 36? Maybe.
Choo-choo.
Shout out. But I mean, yeah, I think the main pieces are just Vooch, some Ross, and SGA for me.
Chat, what do you guys got on this one? Need to change my showdowns. Yeah, if you guys are playing showdowns, James Harden's out, and that changes everything. Is Embiid a cash play must? That's the next game on the docket.
I don't think it's a must.
Must is a strong word, but he's got the best matchup, but the spread could...
don't disrespect Bismack that much.
It's the Hornets, bro.
Yeah.
Andrew Collins says, I don't like playing Horford, but he does decent versus the Magic per stat muse. If no Fournier, I'm interested in Ross and Horford. Okay. So I think one of those like a Horford or a Turner, right? One of these centers that are not Vooch, that are not Embiid, maybe they are the linchpin to make it happen. Especially on FanDuel, man. You got to have some cajones to say, nah, no Embiid, no Drummond, no Vooch. I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna play Al Horford, right? You gotta be brave.
Gotta have some stones.
So maybe those are 200K stones, but yeah, they would probably start MCW. I could see that. I could be riding the Horford as well. I think Fultz, most don't go with him. I think I'm not expecting the world from Markelle Fultz, but a shot at 30 fantasy points is right on there. I'm with it. 20.5 in a blowout, but every other game is really just right at 30. And I think on this slate, some nights I get on here and I'm like, I need 400 to win a tournament tonight. I need ceiling. This is one of those days where just hit value for me, right?
Yeah, just give me points.
Hit value. It's a hard slate to read. So if I think a guy can just between 5 and 7x, I'll take it. And I think Fultz does it. So I'm playing it, right? Hollywood says, I'm taking down 100K today. Well, save second place for me, buddy. Wallet captain might increase with ownership. Might pivot to Halliburton's to try and catch the blowout minutes. Potentially. I haven't really dove into that game, but when does that lock? Because there might be a little bit of edge because...
Lock's at 5. I just made a single entry lineup into that just in case.
I mean, chat, if you guys want to take a minute, go get your lineups in. There's James Harden will probably still have ownership, and if Rake's at 16% and Harden's at 10 to 20%, it could be a rake-free contest. So do you? Where is Fast Eddie? What? What?
Confused.
As a new subscriber, I really appreciate you reading and replying to chat. No, that's what we do. Anyway, am I missing something? Is there a player named Eddie on the Magic? No.
No.
Philadelphia 76ers hosting the Charlotte Hornets. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Hornets. Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, P.J. Washington. Why? Bismack Biyombo taking on Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. A 215.5 total, 10-point spread. Favor of the home team, Philadelphia 76ers. Hornets, night 2 of back-to-back. Sixers, on paper, should outclass the Hornets at every position. Should be a lopsided game. And so far, it's been a season of blowouts.
Should it? I mean, has Philly look that good?
Stop. It's the.
I don't know.
Didn't we just talk about the Magic game? Fam, it's the Charlotte Hornets. I love the Hornets. But if they can beat Philly they can beat Orlando by 20. They can beat the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, but the Charlotte Hornets kept it close.
Stop. Just stop. It should be. Whether if you're trying to argue maybe it's not #NBA, cool. But don't give it a should it? Yes, it should be. F out of here. Joel Embiid 10K, 10.5K on FanDuel. There's a guy that, in 28 minutes might be 1.2 to 1.5 fantasy point per minute considering the matchup. Is 50 a reasonable range outcome? I think yes. I got him right at 50 at my soft projection. But do we extrapolate to enough ceiling and upside here in a potential blowout that he is really worth building around tonight? And I don't think there's a yes or no, chat. It's really whatever you think is right? Whatever your gut's saying. But just as a question, Raj, if you were on a one center site and we talked about Vucevic in a more competitive game for 2,000 less, even though Embiid has the matchup, where do you land, Embiid or Vooch?
I think I'm probably leaning towards Vooch just because the price points per dollar thing. But again, Embiid, good matchup. Obviously, Bismack is an upgrade from Cody Zeller, but still should be able to dominate Biz. But give me Vooch just because it's $2K cheaper price tag. The game more likely to stay close. I'm not in love with Embiid just because that $10K price tag. Again, I think I might even like Sabonis over Embiid 1v1 just straight. Randall's there, I think, close. Drummond against Atlanta. So Embiid maybe not.
Center's got some decisions today.
It's definitely a 2-center day on DraftKings for sure. But I'm just with those centers there. If you have to pick one, I wouldn't be married to Embiid. Just give me 20%.
A lot of Vooch love in chat. Vooch isn't close. Like I said, I don't think the question isn't there's not a right or wrong answer now. There will be in a couple hours, but it's really just a game theory thought. Do I want Embiid? And the caveat here is, what if Devontae Graham catches fire and Gordon Hayward does it, and all of a sudden it's a 4-quarter game.
It's a game.
But we trusted a 10
PJ Washington catches fire.
Dude, I swear if PJ Washington drops.
I'm telling you, PJ Washington going for 40.
So tilted.
He's going for 20 and 10 today with some steals and blocks. I like this game stack. Give me Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, bring him back with Embiid. I like it. There's no way Bismack has a re-performance of last game too.
When do we start having the LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges conversation?
So the LaMelo Ball conversation is real. I think they're definitely moving to making him the point guard who plays 30 minutes. So it's not. Against Philly, Ben Simmons, one of the better point guards defensively in the league. I'm not going to play any of these guards, whether it's Graham, Rozier, or LaMelo. But it's definitely time to throw LaMelo in the pool against good matchups. Because I think he's probably going to end up playing. Maybe in a week he plays more minutes than Rozier and Graham.
A week might be pushing it, but
yeah,
I do think he's their point guard of the future. But looking really good, well priced,
and not touching Simmons at 9K. I'm just don't like that price tag.
So far the Hornets have actually surprisingly been not bad at rebounding. Based on what we saw from them last year, that was not the case.
Bismack.
Maybe Biyombo over Zeller is shaking things up.
How did J-Val do against Biyombo, just out of curiosity?
Per minute, he was all right, but Brandon Clark was kind of vulturing, and it is what it is. I think past Embiid, Ben Simmons, he's on the... When you just look at the slate, you're like, 9K for Ben Simmons, no. But if you really want to think a little bit differently, just a little bit differently for tournaments, 86 for Simmons on FanDuel, 9K on DraftKings. There's a range of outcomes where Ben Simmons, 45, 55. He's going against a bunch of undersized guards, right? Maybe some more blocks into the mix. Has had a couple 2-3 block games.
Harris over him.
Huh?
I think I'll probably even like Tobias Harris over him, just on Philly itself. But the real reason why I'm not in love with Ben Simmons, just the Cleveland guards against Atlanta. Will
Right.
probably take.
I understand why people aren't on Ben Simmons. I'm just trying to think of like where do we get different on this slate? That's
The kid, does he triple double? I mean, I can see him getting the rebounds, double digits. Yes, yeah. I mean, I guess he could triple double against Charlotte. You mentioned undersized guards. He got 37 to 25 minutes.
the Hornets have allowed 9.2 steals per game so far. Ben Simmons is averaging 1.6 steals per game.
Yeah,
So is Danny
LaMelo
Green.
turns the ball over quite a bit.
Yeah. So there's some room there. Now, if you think it's a blowout, a 10-point spread, is Dwight Howard on DraftKings a play?
We're not giving a center spot up for Dwight. There's no way. Not today. Not with Drummond. Not with Sabonis, Randall, and Embiid. No, there's no way. Zero.
Okay. Just a question. Just a question. Chat. Great filibuster. Any thoughts on Seth Curry maybe putting up another sneaky 30 bomb against the Hornets? I do think it's very plausible. I think for Seth Curry to hit 30, he probably needs close to 20 real points, right? But
he's 5,600 now. Like, he needs 30.
Yeah. They had to play Bismack yesterday. They put PJ on J-Val for 30 seconds and scrapped it. Yeah, PJ is definitely not somebody that I play for defense. I was just playing him for minutes at the center spot to up maybe his.
This does scream like Bismack at 4 minutes again today.
Either way, I think Embiid should feast. Simmons tripped up. Simmons just missed a triple-double last game by a bucket and a pair of assists. So I'm just saying that in deeper tournaments, especially if you are, on Embiid here, like there's a shot for Ben Simmons to kind of surprise people. I think 86 on FanDuel, knowing that steals and blocks are a little bit more heavily weighted. I think he's a stronger play there. Raj, what the F am I hearing right now?
My bad.
You texting?
No, I was just like swinging the headphones. My bad. Clicking.
Okay, weird. What up, Jay, Cole, Carl, Douglas, Chris? Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out on a lazy Saturday. Game of the day: the Cleveland Cavaliers at the Atlanta Hawks. Project starting five for the Cavs: Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Jetty Osmond. Maybe I also saw a lineup that had Dante Exum. Larry Nance Jr., Andre, the Giant, Drummond taking on Trae Young, Cam Reddish Jr., DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. Yesterday, we saw that this Hawks offense is for real. They have an offensive rating of 123.5. Completely sustainable, by the way. Like, there's no chance.
Now they got Capella man in the middle. Could be they could turn into something.
So the first thing that stood out to me on this game was why the F are they just 6-point favorites? like I feel like they should run Cleveland out the gym. But I guess for what it's worth, their defensive rating is really high as well. But a pair of games against the Nets, and maybe that'll do it. But Trae Young, 10.2K, John Collins, Clint Capella, the first couple of names on the Hawks that kind of rise to the top. I think Bogdan Bogdanović is another name that I'd be interested in. Obviously, the Hawks come with some volatility, some unpredictability. But we got Rondo out. We still got the minutes from Snell out, the minutes from Chris Dunn Gallo out. So we probably still lean on Trae Young quite a bit. I got him at right about 33 minutes as a soft projection. And he kind of sticks out as probably one of my favorite overall plays. But anytime Trae Young kind of trends to be a little bit chalky, I get scared because I swear Trae Young always crushes me. By the way, so far, the Orlando Magic allowing the second most fantasy points per game to the opposing point guards. On the Cavs side, I guess there's two questions I want to ask you. One, do you trust the Cavs to make this a game?
Hell yes.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 6-point spread, 6-point spread. If you do, obviously the Cavs stack just kind of is there, and the minutes are there. Darius Garland, I got him at 37 minutes. Colin Sexton, basically 37 minutes. Larry Nance, 36 minutes. And then Andre Drummond at 32 minutes. Drummond, kind of an uncomfortable click, but I got him projected for 50.5. My soft projections had Embiid at 50.1 at 10K, where I got Drummond at 50.5 at 9.2. So
What do you have Larry Nance at?
Nance, I
That's
got him at
13-1.
basically 35 at 6'9", which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has that
I
50
think he
point
does
upside
better.
too.
I like Nance in
Yeah.
these faster paced games. Like I think Nance is 50 on him here.
And Nancy's John Collins defense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just give me all the Cleveland. I mean, give me Garland, give me Sexton. I love playing them together. Maybe people don't play them together. I hope not, but I like playing those two together. And then give me Nance too. I'll probably have 2 or 3 Cleveland guys in a majority of my lineups. Great spot for them against Atlanta, a team that can score a ton of points but give up a ton. I want to say Capella makes me not love Drummond as much, and Drummond should still do fine, but Capella is just a better, defensive big in there. But give me those 4 guys, not touching the Cavs bench. On the Atlanta side, if Capella plays, that's another thing. I mean, back to back, he just played 30 minutes. I feel like him being ruled
I mean,
out.
I haven't even seen a rumor about him not playing.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets ruled out, so just be on the lookout. But if he's in, I mean, play Trey Young. I think John Collins is interesting at 7,500. Last game got more down to what expected, 36 fantasy points. 7,500 to get you 40, 45. I could see that happening. Don't hate it. But, I mean, Bogdan coming off a down game with Gallo still out. Go back to Bogdan, and I think he can get you there 5,800. Price tag did come up. But I don't hate the matchup.
Okay, I'm choking on a blueberry apparently. By the way, Smoothie King Day 2. Shout out to Smoothie King for the smoothies. I got a vanilla coffee today, and there's some random blueberry thingy.
Man.
Yeah, so Bogdan at this price is a lot like bench Bogdan from Sacramento, which isn't a bad thing, but probably the most median range of outcome is right about 30 fantasy points, which is what you need at 5.8. So if you're playing Bogdan, just kind of like expect 25, 35, like that window. So if you get the short side of that window, you're not that stoked. But every now and then there'll be that errant 40 bomb. Colin Sexton is averaging 26 real points per game right now.
I don't know if that's sustainable, but against Atlanta, I got to go with it.
Against Atlanta, without Kevin Love in the mix, I think he's their scoring. So as the Cavs fight, so does Colin Sexton.
I think Garland and Sexton, tier 1 core plays,
So Garland,
my highest own.
Here's my beef with Garland. From playing a bulk on FanDuel, Darius Garland is $7,500. You know how hard it is to click.
That's a tough
Darius,
click on FanDuel.
like that's up there.
6K on DK makes him just an easy click.
Right. It's a less pressure.
Yeah.
But that's up there. That is effing up there.
I mean,
and Sexton is 6'8". So Sexton is $700 cheaper than Darius Garland, averaging 26 real points a game. How do I get the Garland over Sexton on FanDuel, especially when Sexton is a shooting guard? I don't think I do. That's why I'm a little bit more intrigued with like some Ben Simmons exposure. And even like having Malcolm Brogdon at the same price as Darius Garland, knowing that Brogdon's a little bit safer for peripherals and whatnot. So I don't know. I might get burned on
the same
not
price,
having Garland. Yeah. Andre Drummond. Drummond gets a lot of blocks and steals. So far, the Hawks have allowed just 4.4 blocks per game, 6.8 steals per game, which will go up and down.
Because a lot of their shots are from the outside.
Yeah, and last year Trae Young was a high turnover player, so there might be some room for regression here. But just something to keep in mind because of what Andre Drummond's strengths are. And then, I think this game's pretty obvious, right? I think the bulk of the slate chalk comes from this game. There's a lot of people trying to jam in Trae. Capella, I guess, is still too cheap, all things considered. So far in the annals of DVP, the Cavaliers. Cleveland, Control F. Do I have Cleveland even selected? Cleveland is not selected, so we got to add them. Cleveland has been solid at rebounding, 23.4% offensive rebounding, 78.5% defensive rebounding. Like Capella though, is he a lock for you? If you know right now he's playing 5-2 in this
Back to
matchup.
back is worrisome. The price tag is nice. Seems like
I just feel like we would have saw something about him even being an issue here.
maybe, but I mean they don't know what's the news.
Yeah. 5.2K. I feel like against the Nets.
He seems like a safe like 10 points, 10 rebounds, and if you get some peripherals, he smashes for you.
You're looking for that double-double and hoping it.
Yeah, you want that double. He's 5,200 on DK. So he lets you get some other pieces. Like you can place a bonus at the power forward spot, things of that nature. So I don't hate it. Again, still worried kind of about the back-to-back, but I would keep him in the pool. Drummond's not a defensive stalwart either, so.
Salo says play Sexton and Nance on FanDuel. I like Larry Nance a lot. I like these type of games, these high pace-up spots. Larry Nance, I think, is a guy that could just stuff the stat sheet. So while the solid projections I have Nance at like 35, I 100% think Nance has 50-plus fantasy point upside in this style of game.
You think 3 Cavs can all go off together?
Yes. We've seen it.
Okay. Yeah.
We've seen it against the Hornets. And now you put them against the Hawks, and you're right. You jazz up the pace a little bit, and you jazz up the scoring responsibility. Absolutely. Drummond, Nance. And I'm not going to – I never played Jetty Osman, but he could just be someone that's obvious at the end of the night. And Dante Exum, I have him projected at 29.6 minutes. He's 3,600 on both sites. Like I said, there is a floating projected lineup that even has him in the starting lineup. Like there's one that shows him starting versus Jetty Osman. So these aren't like fun clicks, but 30 minutes against the Hawks, like at 3,600, you might fall into a 25 fantasy point game. So maybe I have a little bit of it and hope for the best. Gil says if a player gets a triple double, you get points for a double double and triple double. Correct? Yes, I believe is it +2 or plus? You do get a bonus for both. Bryant says I'm playing Sabonis and Randall. Those are your studs for the day. I like them, Bryant. How about DeAndre Hunter on FanDuel? He's really cheap, $4,600. Could I get 25 as a floor and maybe hope for a little bit more? I think it's plausible. Cavaliers are certainly a team you could full stack against. He's gotten you 28 or better in 3 of his last 4. Yeah, sure. I'd play some DeAndre Hunter. Really, really cheap. Definitely can get behind that. It's a must-win game for both teams. Come on, Paul. Stop. Game 5 is a must-win game in the East. Harden out, Eric Gorsuch. Yeah, Logan. We got that. So if you're playing the showdown, make sure you got that taken care of. That's about the lock right now, right? So you guys got 6 minutes on your showdown lock. I'll give you an ad break here. If you guys need to tighten that up, and then we'll get into this Pelicans and Raptors. But after this stream, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP voice chat in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. If you guys want access to it, it kind of looks something like this. So when stuff comes out, like these breaking tweets, we got Bot Dacker that hooks it up. He'll go out there and grab all of those ins and outs up to the minute news, put them in the chat. Also, we have pre-lock voice chat for about 2 hours before main slate locks. I also have NFL content. Baseball's around the corner. If you guys know that you're going to lock in, we do have the full year pass available right now. But we also have week passes, 2-week passes, month pass, stuff like that. So if you want access to the proprietary spreadsheets, my personal player projections for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo, my player pool on both sites, and then just easy to read DVP tabs and index portal, stuff like that. All that is a perk of having a premium subscription at RunDFS.com. Just go over there, make yourself an account, click VIP passes, find something that's right for you, then click the onboarding thread, links to spreadsheets, link to the Discord, all there, and my DMs are always open. So I certainly believe that you guys will find value in being part of that community, and then hopefully we can ease your daily research stress with the spreadsheets. I think a lot of people find value. It's something that's easy to read, easy to understand, And then, of course, I'm as transparent as possible, sharing my personal player pool and results. And then, of course, the pre-lock voice chats. All right, you guys got a couple minutes to your showdown lock. I think you guys should be set. We got one game left on the docket. Again, reminder: every tip is between 7 and 7:30. It's gonna play like a turbo slate. You don't have to panic about late swap and news and stuff. There's just a 30-minute gap, so it should be a pretty uneventful day when it comes to late swap. And then after 7:30, you guys are free to enjoy your night and get ready for the final weekend of NFL. Week 17, always fun.
Should be a fun one.
Should be a fun one. No Kamara. No, I think I saw Lat Murray can't play because of contact tracing. So
All their running backs are gone. They got Ty Montgomery.
it's going to be fun. Anyway, 170 plus of my best friends on YouTube hanging out with us. If you guys can do me a favor right now, it says I got 27 likes. Is there a shot we can get to 60? 60 likes, a thumbs up would be sorely appreciated. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about this, but the Sports Science Academy at Harvard, they did this study on my YouTube channel, and apparently people that thumbs up these videos cash at a higher rate than people that don't. I don't even know if I can share that information. I feel like it's supposed to be under wraps, but
Top secret.
I'm just letting you guys know. You might bank tonight if you hit that thumbs up, right? Carl says ball brother combo. Maybe, yeah. Barrett is shooting 5.6 from deep. You mean 56%? Or no, 5. RJ Barrett? Yeah, Barrett is a couple extra buckets away from being solid every night. 21%, yeah, over. Oh, yeah. 5.6 is what you meant. He hasn't hit a 3 since opening night. Holy cow. Yeah, he's just a couple buckets from being 35, 40 fantasy points. The caveat here is the matchup against the Pacers isn't great, but the usage and the volume's there, right? Asano says, on my way to VIP. For those who haven't tried VIP, it's worth it. I always come back during NBA. And for me, that's the testament of the value of the product, right? The same names over and over and over coming back. So it's not like you see a lot of people grabbing one pass and I never see them again. If people stay, because I know that the prices are probably a little bit higher than most, but like I said, the daily voice chat, having that, a lot of other sites don't really offer that. Gustavo, Ben Simmons on FanDuel with the defensive stats could be nice. I like Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons could be one of the. I don't know if sneaky is a word on this slate, but I feel like people aren't playing Ben Simmons. The steals and the blocks are there. It's an undersized matchup. I just think it's possible Ben Simmons has one of those games here. Get to 100 and we get a cat playground. Yes, chat. You guys did get me 100 likes the other day, so I will be getting a cat. But it comes with a girlfriend. So a couple weeks, I'll get you guys all caught up on that. What up, Angelo? That's G14 classified. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you about it because I don't think I was supposed to. But yeah. You went through India and New York already. What's the projected minutes on Bullock? So right now on Bullock, I have him at 29.2. Alec Burks is still questionable. Quickly could be in the mix, so that could shake a little bit. If we took Burks out, maybe Bullock goes up a little bit more.
I mean, Reggie Bullock, I'm not ready to play. He's a guy that plays 30 minutes and gets you 10 fantasy points.
I don't hate him as a play just for hitting some shots at 3,600. At 44, I'm probably out completely, but at 36, 100 over bare bones, I might have a share. Let's just see what happens. Main event tonight, Toronto Raptors at the New Orleans Pelicans. Project starting 5 for the Raptors. Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Baines taking on Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams. 215.5 is our total. The Raptors favored by just 1. So the tightest spread on the slate. Again, kind of a meager total from what we've trained ourselves to look for. But a tight spread on this slate might be very valuable, and it might give us full minutes. Pascal Siakam, random late scratch the other night, perhaps disciplinary in nature. but still should be back in the mix tonight. We do expect deep minutes for all the starters. Lowry, I got it, 36.7. Van Vliet, 35. Anunoby, 35. And Siakam, 35. It would be me, in my luck, to point out that OG Anunoby has been a really solid FanDuel play. And then Siakam gets scratched. Norman Powell starts with Anunoby. And Anunoby puts up 18 FanDuel points in 34 minutes against the New York Knicks. No blocks and just 1 steal. So I do think that is the volatility of chasing these high block, high steal dependent players for their big fantasy nights. But I would probably put him back in the mix today just because there's a range of outcome against the Pelicans that maybe falls into a solid game. I do think overall that the Raptors don't really have one guy standing out at a specific price that I'm like, yeah, he's a must play. Everyone has competition. Siakam at 8-3. You think about forwards at 8K to 9K, it's stacked, right? You talked about Sabonis, talked about Julius Randle. Even if you compare that to the center spot, Siakam does have a path to success at this price in this matchup, but it's certainly not a given. Same with Fred Van Vliet, 7.5, 7.7K. I like the minutes here. He's probably my favorite Raptor if I had to pick one, just for minutes and to score here. And then Kyle Lowry, 8K on the nose on both sides. I need 40-plus fantasy points. My soft projection put him right about 36.9. So there's no one sticking out that I think is too obvious to miss, right? But then we think about the 1-point spread, potential competitiveness, 6% of games supposedly go to overtime. Maybe the Raptor stack gets bailed out deep into the stretch. So I'll let you speak on them. But then the Pelican side, I think, is very stackable still. The price is all the way around. Really, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and Zion are the first three I'm kind of looking at. Lonzo, 6'5", 6'6". I got him right about 30 fantasy points. I think it's very viable here. Ingram versus Zion, I feel like I'll get this one wrong. But on DraftKings, both of them are at respectable prices, and I even think there's a world where they can both get you a combined 80 to 85 fantasy points as a floor. Matchups is very tough by every regard. Anunoby and Siakam really match up well defensively against these two. But we've seen B.I. have strong games in tough matchups. Wasn't it the Raptors he went off against earlier? Yeah, he dropped 61 against the Raptors in the first game. So there's certainly a path for him to thrive. He got ejected last game off of hitting what's-his-name in the head on a block attempt. So don't be alarmed at those minutes and fouls. The plan for B.I. in a competitive game is 35-plus minutes. So I definitely like B.I. I like Zion and Lonzo. And I mean as in who I would play from the Pelicans' forefront option-wise. And then what do you do with the Raptors? Raptors feel really tough to be confident with pre-flop at these prices. I don't feel like I'm getting a break.
The Raptors, I'm thinking Siakam did, coming off that disciplinary. Why can't I say that word right now?
Disciplinary?
Yeah, disciplinary.
Disciplinary?
Yeah, I was tripping. My bad. Long night last night. Yeah, coming off of that, I could see him maybe, just playing a little harder here. Decent match against New Orleans. Again, should lead this team in points, give him some peripherals. Has that 50-point upside, 8,300. Don't hate it. Van Vliet, he got there last game with no Siakam, but when Siakam's played, his upside isn't flashed as much. But again, 7,700, there's some meat on the bone there. New Orleans play Brandon Ingram, play Zion Williamson. I feel like I play those two just every day. There's both that their prices have that upside. If Ingram doesn't get tossed last game, he smashes, and is uber chalk today. So maybe that people just look at the box score and it kind of keeps him off. So give me a little more Brandon Ingram than Zion, but give me both. Other than that, I'm not running to play Lonzo Ball or anybody else. So you really
one number so far, and it's just 4 or 5 games. So far, the Raptors have an offensive rebound rate of 18.4%. Not great. And the Pelicans have a defensive rebound rate at almost 85%. So
I could see that
if you're
with Zion and Steven Adams.
Yeah, if you're prop betting, you might look for some rebound props in this one. But also keep that in mind because, it could beef up the floor and rebounds for.
Yeah, Aaron Baines has not been getting it done for us, so you got to figure out that center situation. I mean, Boucher, I guess an option at 4-7. It seems like they're not giving Baines run; they're giving Boucher the opportunity, and he's just a guy that any game you give him 20+ minutes can get you 35, 40 DKP.
Yeah, I didn't realize Zion was averaging over 8 rebounds a game.
Yep.
So 10 double in a good game here. Yeah, Ingram and Zion for their prices, I got them soft projected at a combined 82.
They can be okay
I'll
with
take
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You want the 100 in tournament?
Yeah. Looking at the live chat, Gun thoughts on Eric Bledsoe on FanDuel. Eric Bledsoe 4.6K, really cheap. If you're just looking for that value guy to get you that 25, could Bledsoe do it? He's 25. Is there a correlation between him getting 25 against OKC and Ingram getting ejected? I don't know that to be fact or fiction. Maybe
he's 5,700 on DK, just an easy fade.
Okay, but on a FanDuel mindset, let me
that price.
Just a second. Toronto has what day was that game? Did Popcorn Machine add that? That was on the 31st, right? The ejection game. So Toronto and OKC. I just want to see if there's a correlation between Bledsoe finally being solid and Ingram getting ejected. So Ingram was ejected in the third quarter, and Bledsoe, not really. Bledsoe only played 4 minutes afterwards. A shot, a steal, and a rebound. So he just kind of was solid. Yeah, I think on FanDuel I'll play some Bledsoe. I think the question I have on FanDuel, it's not really a question, it's just thinking in my head, is this a small enough slate? Usually when I'm scripting, I don't want more than 3 guys from the same team. Is this a small enough slate where a 4-man team stack is something I could adjust for today? Like there, at these prices, is there a range of outcome that 4 Pelicans get me there? 4 Hawks,
I think 4 Pelicans is definitely a no-no. I think the Pelicans, I wouldn't go more than 2. I think Cleveland's the only team that would go more than that.
I would go more than 2 Pelicans on DraftKings. Lonzo, Ingram, Zion on DraftKings are cheap enough.
Lonzo, Ingram. I guess Lonzo's price, yeah, you could do that.
If I get 30, 40, like I said, on this slate, if I can go for the low end of a 6x or a 5x. Normally, I want that 8x ceiling because I think 400 points wins it. I think this slate's a little bit more expectations being tapered. So I could see 3 Pelicans. I don't know that 6K Eric Bledsoe is where I'm at, but 4,600 for Bledsoe, I'd probably take a stab on that. And then if the Raptors rebounding continues to be this bad, is Steven Adams just floating in no man's land? He's got 35 and 34. Maybe he's a guy that just doesn't have a ceiling that gets you near 40. But I don't know. He might stock and stuff his way to a top lineup. So I could certainly see myself with 3 Pelicans. Maybe not the most optimal thing on the surface, but I could see 3 Pelicans. I could see 3 Hawks. You can give me Trae Young, at least on FanDuel. Give me Trae Young, Deandre Hunter. Capella has a case. Bogdan Bogdanovic has a case. Even Cam Reddish, as much as I don't like it, comfort-wise has a case. I could absolutely see 3 Cavs. Sexton, Garland, coin flip, Nance, and Drummond. And there's even a world where Jetty Osman and Dante Exum are okay. So there's certainly an open door for team stacks today. And then the Magic, if Fournier is out, even if he's in, I can see Fultz, Vooch, and then a T. Ross or Fournier. Yeah. So certainly plenty of stackability in this slate. It's just, for me, it was, do I open it up to 4-man stacks? I don't know if I will, but I think it's plausible. Anyway, chat, any lasting comments, concerns? I'm actually 10 minutes overdue for the VIP voice chat, so I do got to get out of here. Is Nance a good defender? I wouldn't really put him above average, but sure. No, I don't think he's anybody I'd run for him, no. Harden is 21.7% on the showdown. Chad, I hope some of y'all
Let's go.
I hope some of y'all went and put some tickets in, man. That's incredible.
Insane.
Yeah. We don't like Collins tonight. I think Collins is okay. Collins is still somebody you got to worry about foul trouble. Got to worry about his minutes first and foremost. If he's just going to be a 28, 30-minute guy that gets into foul trouble a lot against active bigs like Nance and Drummond, I'm very scared about putting a solid ceiling on him. I do think he has a ceiling worth taking stabs at 7.75, but the confidence level is a lot lower than it was this time last year. Gustavo says, times I've stacked the Pels annual Bledsoe nut shot checked off the list. Gobbs, what up, Gobbs? Only playing about 10 lineups, getting 0% Ingram right now. Is it crazy to fade him? I think on FanDuel, I don't think you're crazy because he's over 9K. I think last game, opening night, 60-plus is huge, but that is a little bit of I don't want to say anomaly, but it's super ceiling. So if you don't think this is a ceiling opportunity for him in a tough matchup that likely saw what he did game one and want to adjust, then sure, I don't think that's crazy. In 10 lineups, I wouldn't sweat not getting to a 9K guy. Don't spread yourself too thin in 10 lineups. In 100, 150 lineups, you can diversify a little bit more with some comfort. But in 10 lineups, man, you're really just going to have to balls out on a core, 5, 6 guys that you're going to have 60 to 80% of, and then just kind of rotate around it. Or at least that's what I do. Flagrant 2 was garbage. Yeah, McGee is a punt. That's all he would be is a punt, and he's not even that cheap. 43, 41.
Yeah, we need some value today.
We do. Dante Axum. I had Harden until someone here mentioned he was out. Oh, man, I'm glad you missed it. Or I'm glad you didn't miss it and got it out.
John Wall is only 40% at captain, which I would expect him to be like at 70% captain ownership.
Jeff says best value besides Axum. All right, that'll be the last question. Then I got to get in voice chat. I'm about to update all my projections when I get in voice chat, but coming into this, I had Capella, Darius Garland. This is DraftKings value. Dwayne Bacon. I could see that if Fournier's out. Exum's up there. And then on FanDuel for value, my projections liked Mitchell Robinson, but I'm not giving up the center spot. MCW, Fultz, Bacon. So kind of the same name. Some overlap there. I am about to adjust projections. What was it, 413? When I get into VIP. So that's where I was at on that. If you guys do me a favor, double check to make sure you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. No stream tomorrow. Yeah, no stream, right? No stream tomorrow. Jesus, bro. I'm going to say no stream tomorrow. Let me NBA schedule.
It's football Sunday.
It is football. Nobody would watch me over NFL. So, yeah, no stream tomorrow, but we'll be back at it on Monday. And then maybe some of the core. These picks videos I've been putting out, they don't get any views. So I might just stick to daily streams. I don't know. But we'll be back at it on Monday. So, yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. And if you would, before you leave, hit that thumbs up. Otherwise, if you want to hang out with me a little bit more behind the paywall, go to rundfs.com. Get yourself signed up, man. I appreciate you guys. I hope you crush it tonight. Hope you win all the money. And if you do, twitter.com/gundackersports. Share the screenshot, man. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you be great. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.